Bonjour and hello my lords, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nick Saraf's Food Log. Continuing our tour of Europe, we have landed up in Belgium. You know, Belgium, famous for its Belgian chocolates, its waffles, and of course the Brussels sprouts. Well, not so much the Brussels sprouts, I don't really know who likes them. Belgium is located between France, Germany and the Netherlands. So this little country has culinary influences from all these places. It's a popular saying that the Belgian cuisine takes its flavor from the French cuisine and its portion size from the German cuisine and makes a brilliant spread. Thank God they don't do it the other way around. A Belgian breakfast is generally a piece of toast with, a layer of jam or a slice of cheese or a slice of cold cut meat with this delicious yogurt and dry fruit cake, mostly cranberries. And to top it all up, they have a nice apricot coulis. That's what we're going to be making today. So let's start with making a traditional Belgian breakfast bread called Cramique. Yes, Belgium also speaks French, so you're going to be hearing a lot of that. Haha. So to make Cramique, we take 220 ml of milk and put it on a medium to low flame. And to this lukewarm milk, we add 25 grams of crumbled yeast and let it dissolve in the milk to make sure your milk is not too hot. Otherwise, yeast will die. Take the pan off the heat and just let it all dissolve. To this mixture, we add about 45 grams of caster sugar, 85 grams of butter, and then we mix this together. To this we add 1 egg. Must have noticed this bread is sweet, and then we mix it. Once this mixture is done, we set it aside just for a minute, and in a nice large bowl we take 430 grams of sieved flour. In that we add 5 grams of salt, mix it up a bit, make the famous well in the center, and pour all of this mixture into the well. And then with a spatula, mix it all together till it comes around and forms a soft dough. Make sure you don't mix it together too much and make like a dough out of it, because we're not kneading it right now. We're going to cover this with some cling film and leave it to rise for 10 minutes. That's it. Since we've kept the mixture aside, let's use these 10 minutes to make some apricot coulis that we're going to put on top of the yogurt cake. This is a no measures recipe and it's probably the simplest thing we're doing today. Well, everything we're doing today is simple, but that's just for me. So, we add cut apricots to a bowl and blend them slightly. To this we add a little bit of cold water, as much as we want. If you want a very liquidy coulis, then you add more water. If you want slightly thicker coulis, less water. And then blend it slightly. When it is pureed, you add some sugar, butter, and salt as per your own discretion, and blend it all well. When everything is nice and pureed, the apricot coulis is done. Now that this apricot coulis is done, we must move on to the next part. Don't quite remember what it is at the moment, but I'm sure it's something to do with bread. Well, let's see. I'm going to keep this in the fridge now. Now, let us knead this dough that has risen. Very little amount of flour this time, not too much. Luckily, don't really need to knead this for a long time, just a minute or two. Knead it until it all comes together and it doesn't stick to your hands anymore. So we put this bread back into the bowl, cover it with cling film so that no skin forms on top, and leave it in a warm place once again for 30 minutes. This is the second round of waiting. Yes. Now that our dough has risen, we flatten it out slightly, add soaked raisins. These are about 125 grams of raisins. You shouldn't add them when you're making the dough in the first place because they're going to turn into a mush as you knead. And you don't want that. You want good pieces of raisins to come in your mouth. Now, we mix this together lightly like a package. Just roll it up so that it smoothens on all sides. As you can see, I don't even need flour for this. It's that non-sticky on my hands. And then I put it in a little Teflon bread pan and leave it to rise for about 20 minutes. And now the cramique is in the oven at 190 degrees for 40 minutes. Now we move on for making blackberry jam. So we've done a lot of jam since I started this food log. We've made a marmalade, a blueberry jam. This is not very different from them. So we put equal amount of blackberries and caster sugar on a high flame and let the sugar melt. We slightly crush the blackberries with the back of the spatula. And now we put in the sugar thermometer and just wait for it to reach 105 degrees. But we make sure we don't crush them into pieces that are too small in size because we want a good piece of the blackberry when we're eating. So this has risen beautifully. It looks like a good loaf from a nice bakery, but we wouldn't know until we slice it open and see how it's done from inside. That's some good bread. But now, in true Belgian fashion, we have to toast it with some butter. So, butter on the pan, spread the butter well, let the slice soak in all the goodness of the butter. When it's nice and brown, flip it. So, this bread is coming apart a little, and that is because of the addition of the raisins, which has given a lot of space between the dough, but that's fine. It's nice and rustic. So on our first piece of toast, let's put a good helping of blackberry jam. There we go. The Belgians love eating Gouda with their toast in the morning. And on our third piece of toast, we're going to put a slice of Gouda and a nice slice of cold ham. So now we make a gâteau minute au yaourt, which means a quick yogurt cake that is quite popular as a breakfast cake or muffin in Belgium. For this, we take 4 eggs and separate the yolks and the whites. To these 4 yolks, we add 150 grams of yogurt and we add 300 grams of sugar. Blend it all in with your hand mixer. To this, I will add 450 grams of sieved flour and about 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. We add no baking soda to this, and all of this mix with the hand mixer. And while we're still mixing this, we gradually add in about 120 ml of oil. Any neutral vegetable oil is okay. In this batter, we fold in whatever dry fruit we wish. Now I like to put in some dried cranberries. Now fold it in to incorporate all these berries together. And now we keep this aside and work with the whites. We whisk them with clean whisks until they reach firm peaks or a French meringue. without the sugar. Now when you lift the egg white with your beaters and the peak stays nice and firm, doesn't droop, this is a stiff peak meringue. It's quite good. Also, the best way to know whether you've had a firm meringue is to get this thing upside down, and if it doesn't fall, the meringue's perfect. Now, we get the batter back and take 1/3 of the meringue into the batter and just aerate this mixture with the egg white by whisking it in. So, after you whisk it in, and we've aerated the mixture with the air from the whites, we fold in the rest of the meringue quite gently. Now we take a muffin or cupcake tray, put in ridged metal cups which have been oiled, and spoon the mixture in. And now we put this in an oven for 20 minutes at 240 degrees Celsius. So the gâteaux minute yacht seem to be done. So we take them out of the muffin pan and out of these little tiny tin molds. And they're very hot, so we have to be very careful. There we go. If they stick too much to the side, just make slight incisions with your knife and they would be out. So there you have it, the taste of France and the portions of Germany coming together on one Belgian plate. Bon appétit!